Welcome to Ordinary People, Extraordinary Things. I'm Nancy and I'm here with Ann. Ann, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm excited. My mom, Luann, said, you have to talk to Ann. And so I was excited to get her comments and her thoughts on that. And I'm looking forward to our chat today.
Thank you. Your mom is very sweet and very supportive. I can't imagine what kind of a supportive mom she is because she's a very supportive friend.
How long have you known each other?
Well, she was quite a few years ahead of me in school, so I can't say that we've known each other for a long time, but as you know, you grew up down the road from where I grew up, so
Yeah,
I've for a long time in our adult life and go to the same church.
nice.
So yeah,
Yeah, your mom was our next door neighbor, right?
yes,
I mean, next door as far as when you live on a farm,
yes,
you have
yes,
acres between you, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, if people don't know who you are, could you do three words or phrases to describe yourself?
I would say strong, outgoing, and nurturing. Do you want me to elaborate on those? Why I
Sure.
feel that way?
Yeah.
I think strong because I just am able to go into difficult situations and I don't get riled up by them. And nurturing because I was a stay-at-home mom and I started out that way, and then my kids got older and flew the nest. Then I found other people to nurture, from patients with dementia to Red Cross to just anybody that needed help. It just God puts them in my life, and outgoing is just part of my family. You knew my dad.
Yeah.
So it comes with the territory. I just can talk to a wall. And
Well,
that helps me a lot in the things I love to do, because sometimes you have to be the talker when someone else isn't able to talk, and sometimes you have to be the listener, and that's easy for me too. So
oh, that's great. Well, that goes right into what we're talking about. So one of the things that you do is you go to Haiti.
yeah,
Yeah.
my first trip to Haiti was in 2011. And it's kind of funny how it started, because I was having lunch with one of my best friends, and her son was joining us, and he was in his probably 30s at the time. And he knew someone that was lining up this trip to go to Haiti. And he said, just out of the blue at lunch, hey, do you want to go to Haiti? And I said, yeah, what will we do? And from then, my daughter wanted to go as well. And she was, I think, 20 at the time. And he hooked us up with the guy that was doing the trip. And I've been going every year since, sometimes twice a year. And the first trip I went, I knew I was going to be a lifer. I loved the people. I loved being able to help with the smallest of things. You can't change the world, and but you can do things to make it a little brighter.
Hmm.
And then so I formed lots of relationships over the years. Of course, with this many years, I go to the same village every single time. So
Oh,
I know
wow. Okay.
I've seen little kids grow up, and it's, yeah. So it's like seeing family when I go back there. The first thing I do is I got to see this person time I'm in town, and this person. And so I have a day or two of greeting everyone that I know, and then get down to the business of finding people with needs that haven't been met by other organizations, because there are so many great organizations there, but they can't fill every little need. So being just a single, I used to go with groups to start with. And then I decided I wanted to go on my own, because I wanted to do my own thing where I saw the needs instead of what the needs they saw. So I just go out into the community and into what they call the countryside, which would be like where my folks live and your folks live, where the houses are a little further apart, and check on those people and see what their needs are, as far as maybe some health needs, or there's always food needs, housing needs.
So wow, you just go on your own. You go to
Well,
this village.
I have a translator always with me,
Okay.
and I have a place to stay before I go. I stay with a mission group. There's three different ones I think that I've stayed with, and so I do have a nice bed and a cold shower. There's no warm water there, but you don't care when you're in Haiti. Not for me, nothing matters. All the roughing it means nothing. Like, I'm gonna be hopping all over the place here, but the last time I was there and I was in church, and their church is 3 hours long, and I had to go to the bathroom like there was an hour left. And so I asked my translator, asked someone, and they took me out to the bathroom. The bathroom was a room, probably the size of, maybe bigger than a porta potty, but all it had was a hole in the floor. And you just squat down and you go to the bathroom. And in America, I was like, I am not, find me a decent bathroom. But over there, you're like, oh, yeah, and you go. So in Haiti, nothing bothers me, nothing at all. Not the poor accommodations and the accommodations are not all that poor. They're just not America. But yeah, so I always have a nice place to stay and no air conditioning, a lot of times no electricity, just depends on what's going on. But it's so much better than all the people that I visit. But there's nothing to complain about. Nothing. These people live with rats coming in and out of their house. And I've stayed in places where we've had rats. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. The homes are not built like they are here. So you have rats and mice, and some people sleep with a net over their tent or over their bed. I never did that because I'm not that afraid.
Is that for like the mosquitoes or?
And rats and mice.
Oh,
both.
Wow.
All of the above, just to keep critters off you. And there's a lot of cockroaches.
So how long are you there mostly?
When I first started going with the team, I was there for a week. And I maybe did that for 5 or 6 years. And then one time I decided I wanted to stay a week longer because after a week, my heart was not full. And when I came home, it was such a hard adjustment because I did not feel fulfilled on what I did there. And walking from a third world country into America is crazy because you all of a sudden are in a grocery store, you can buy anything you want. And you sit in your home, you push your dishwasher and you push your clothes washer. And still my mind is in Haiti with these people that it takes them an entire day long to wash their clothes at the river or at their house if they carry water there, and then to dry them on cactus bushes and to shower outside with a big tub. And so I found if I went for 2 weeks, I really felt fulfilled. I got a lot more done and my heart was happy when I left instead of having a sad heart when I left, because that just didn't do me any good to leave with such a sad heart. I wanted to leave on a happy note and know that I felt fulfilled and I would be ready to go back the next time instead of dreading. That week just goes way too fast. So since then, I stayed a week after with the group trip. And since then, I just started going on my own and I go for 2 weeks.
Now you say you kind of go out and you see a need and you try to fill the need. Can you give us a couple examples of how you can do that?
Well, one way of meeting a lot of people is giving out food. So I do that every time I go there. And their main staples are rice, beans. These are the things I put in the giveaways: rice, beans, oil, sugar, bouillon, matches. And then this last time I also added soap that they use to wash by hand. And when I started in the very beginning, we just went in the countryside and looked for the shabbiest houses we could find. And they're all pretty shabby. But now I am down to, in the last few years, we just look for the elderly because they seem to have more needs than the younger people. They have some health needs. They have house needs. They just have, most people there have no possibility, but these people really have no possibility. So in doing that, just rolling up on homes, and my translator will yell out Gramoon, which means grandpa or grandma. It's the same word. And that's who we're looking for. People, I say, if they look over 70, or you can just tell by looking at them what kind of need they are. And then we'll often attract a crowd around us. And some of the 40 and 50-year-olds will be saying, I'm a grandma. And I'll say, you don't count. And even if you aren't a grandma, you have to be older than me. I always say to people, in order to get food, you have to look a lot older than me. And you look younger than me. And they laugh, and it's a lot of fun it's a lot of fun with everybody that comes around us. So then once we get to them, then we'll find out just in conversations. I don't do a questionnaire or anything, but just in talking with them, we'll find out maybe their back has been hurting or they need vitamins for a certain thing. And so I feel like the Lord just places these people in front of me, and then we find their needs. A lot of the people simply just get food and they are so, so happy. My favorite thing is when we are driving down the road, and we're always on a motorcycle because that's the roads are horrible. So that's really the main means of transportation. And we'll see a lady in the age group that I want to hit, and she's carrying a basket on her head, which is very common there. And we'll stop and ask her, talk for a couple of minutes, and then say, we have some food to give you, and ask her where she's heading to. And several times this person will be heading to market, which is, like a open market where they just sell things. They'll put things down in front of them and hope someone buys them. And this lady, one of the ladies on her last trip, she had already walked 3 miles and she had 3 more to go to get to this market to sell. She had some small sticks and something else. But then I always buy everything that they have, so they have the money for that and don't have to keep walking. And then we fill their basket up on top of their head with the food that we're giving them.
Oh.
And it's a double blessing, and it is so much fun. I
Wow.
love it. Because the first thing we always ask someone when we catch someone walking is how far they have to get to their home, because if it's a long distance, it's kind of heavy stuff, but they're used to carrying heavy stuff. But anyway, that's how we find out where they're going. And she'll say, I'm going to market. So I'll say, ask her, because everything's through my interpreter. I don't know any Creole is the language that they speak. And so I'll say, ask her what she's selling, and we'll look at it. And I'll say, tell her we're going to buy it all. Ask her what she wants. And there's no dickering. And we usually give her more than she wants. And it's usually a gal. Sometimes it's a guy. But yeah, that's fun. And another fun thing that happened this last time was kind of along that same lines. We were heading back and we had no food left. And a lady on the road, they'll often sit in front of their homes with their oranges or whatever they have spread out in front of them to sell. And she flagged us down and she wanted some food. And I felt so bad because we had nothing left. We'd given out everything for the day. So we bought everything that she was selling on the roadside, which was a huge bag of beans. And then we took the beans to an orphanage where you saw the mattresses from.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's a domino effect that you give something, get something, pass out something on. And those are the days that really fill my heart. And then the days that break my heart is the orphanage.
Yeah. I saw a video that you posted of the orphanage and the beds, and yeah, that was sad. Could you kind of explain to people if they haven't seen that?
There are a lot of orphanages in Haiti, a lot. And not necessarily all the children are orphaned. It's just that maybe their mom died and their dads there aren't the best at taking care of the children if the mom passes. And so they go to an orphanage. And this was the first time I'd been to this orphanage. The place that I was staying this time was called Philadelphia Mission Church of Pion. And he said, there's this orphanage over here that doesn't get really any support, because he knew I was giving out food. And he asked me if I'd give some to them. And I didn't even know it existed where it was at in this little town. So we went over there and met the people, and yeah, they have no support from anyone. I don't know how they do it. Usually every place has some American support. And this place, they said I was the first white person they had ever seen. She gave us a tour of it, and I asked to see the beds and stuff just out of curiosity what they had, never expecting it to be just blankets on springs. And some of them, if they had any covering left on the bed, there was a huge hole in the center. And it was just so incredibly sad. So I knew I had to find mattresses, which is it's a feat in itself to find mattresses there. They don't have stores like they have here. And I don't know, well, most of their stuff comes in through Port-au-Prince, which is the capital, which is where all the fighting is going on right now. When you see the horrible things on TV from Haiti, that's where it's at. And literally they are the port that all the containers come in. And then they go from there and they get spread out through the little country of Haiti. So by the time you get them, they're filthy and have been through a lot of hauling and on the back of motorcycles and whatnot. So there's one little store in the town that we go to, and it didn't have, we needed 14 mattresses, and it did not have enough. I think I saw 2 there that I would take, because I just kept looking through them going, nope, not that one. That one's too ripped. Nope. So then we went to another town, and my taxi driver had a car, and old car, but it worked. And so we get in town. I bought 3 mattresses and I said, "Ah, we need a lot more. How many can we fit on there?" And he said, "As many as you want." And I said, "Are you serious?" We ended up getting 11 mattresses between the trunk and on top of that car. And when we pulled back into the orphanage at the end of the day, they were so thrilled. But still, then there's more needs after that. And then I needed to find plastic to put over the mattresses because the kids potty the bed just like they do here in America, and that rots the beds out. And then to try and find sheets. And a friend of mine who helped pay for the mattresses, she was there longer than me, and she did get them some sheets, and I found some sheets while I was there. But it's just never ending, the needs and food for them. And I think they have like 30 kids there.
Wow. So do you get overwhelmed? Do you get saddened? Do you get discouraged by what you just said, is that the needs never end?
I think that's where the part where I said I'm strong comes in, because I knew when I went there that I was not going to be able to absorb their pain, or I wouldn't do them any good. It's kind of like I volunteer with hospice as well. If you go into where they're hurt as, you're doing no good for anyone, yourself or them. So God gives me the strength to just be strong and focus on the problem at hand and try and do as best I can to help them with that. And then at night, yeah, there's some sadness and lots of prayers and stuff, but in the moment, God gives me the strength to just keep on going instead of breaking down, which is what would be really easy to do.
Do you ever feel like, you know, you said that you were looking for elderly and then like people were coming that were younger saying, "Oh, I'm elderly." Does that bother you? Kind of like, oh, you're trying to get something that I'm not willing to give, or you just kind of have fun with it, or how do you deal with that?
I always switch it around to have fun with it, always. And that's when I go into, you are younger and prettier than me. I know you are not a grandma. And my translator goes through all that too. And I always take jewelry too. And that's one thing that I give out. So sometimes I'll give them a piece of jewelry, a bracelet, or earrings or something. And a lot of my friends have donated their old jewelry to me to take. So that's always fun. When I give out food, then they always get a little something to make them prettier than they already are.
Oh, that's wonderful. This is such a tangible way to show Jesus to these people.
That's what I hope. I don't preach, but I try and show Jesus through my love, that they are loved. And I think I do that well just in my touch, and I hug and kiss every single person I meet. And my translator said one time, "Ann," that's how they say my name in Haiti, "Ann, you don't have to kiss every person." And I said, "Oh, but I do." And they get a kiss on each cheek, a slow, not just an American pet goodbye. I just want them to feel they are loved outside of their little circle. People care about them in the outside world.
Do they know about Jesus a lot in Haiti?
Yes, as I said, their church is 3 hours long.
Yeah.
They are, I would say, better Christians than us. I mean, the first time I went in America, we're like, how long has he been doing the sermon for? These guys, no. Yes, they do know about Christ, and there are lots of churches there. The one I usually go to when I'm there, my translator is Baptist, so I go with him. You know, I don't know a word they say. I enjoy the songs and stuff, but I have also been to a Catholic church there. It is also 3 hours long, and I don't understand a word, of course. So, but I recognize it somewhat because, you know, I am Catholic. So yeah, there are a lot of churches, and oh, this is really special too. A few years ago, they built a church that's up on, I wouldn't call it a church, I guess, but it's a place to go pray. They call it a church. And it's up higher on the mountain. You have to go up quite a distance to up there. And when you go up there, there are church groups and just single people laying up there, praising the Lord, just laying on the ground in these bushes and tall grass. And then there is an inside part with a cement floor. And I think they have huge groups in there once in a while. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff you don't see in America that inspires me. I learn from them. When I went up to that church, I just thought, this is amazing. These people climb this mountain to go up here and praise the Lord. And you do feel so close to them there. I can see why they do it. It's amazing. So yes, there's still a lot of voodoo there, and it's not, I mean, like America, not everyone believes either.
Mhm.
But there are a lot of Christians there, a lot of good people, and they know their Bible. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
And everyone wants you to go to their church. Everyone likes to take you about. And this last time we went to a church, when I was delivering food, we met this family of 7. And the reason we stopped there is because I saw a grandpa sitting out in the yard. And that's what we'll do. If we see somebody in the yard, or we'll yell, then we'll stop. And it turns out he was living with his son and daughter-in-law and I think 5 kids. And they were playing music. We heard music coming from the house. And I said, where is that coming from? Well, the father plays the organ at church. And he had a solar panel set up to practice this organ at home. It was the most beautiful music. So this last time I was there, we went to their church to hear them. They sing, and one of the boys plays a guitar and the dad plays the organ. So I was in a new church this last time I've been in before. So yeah, just moments like that are just so fun and rewarding.
Yeah. Oh, that's really inspiring. Yeah, I feel like it's so hard for us because we are just in general. I know that there is poverty in the United States, but that, my daughter even this morning was like, I don't know what to have for breakfast, and kind of like, and I gave her like 20 things that she could have. And we even have more than that, right? I mean, and she's like, no, no. And I was like, Rachel, we are so blessed that you can have almost anything you want for breakfast. We have so much food in this house. But to really try to understand that is difficult.
Oh, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Definitely.
even, like I've been to India and seen some of that, but it's hard for me to remember when I'm back here and not to just kind of get into a comparison game or to, just get into the culture of America as far as like, oh, I need something bigger or better or different. Or do you do you have any thoughts on that, or any ideas that we might just maybe get a glimpse and be able to hold on to that just a little bit better?
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that hits me every time I use the dishwasher, the clothes washer, when it takes them all day long to do those things. I think here I push a button and I leave the house, and we have the robot vacuums. We just have the cushiest life. And then we sit around, we're so tired. I have to put clothes away. And so it just takes me, I mean, I'm just grateful for running water. When I run the water until it gets hot, I think all the water I'm wasting and it's not taking water from them, of course, but in my head, I'm running all this water just to get to the temperature I want when they would just love to have water. So for me, it's just being more grateful for all the things that I have. And I can't change that and I can't give that to them, but just be appreciative of what I have. And that it's taught me that. Definitely, it's taught me that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Just even thinking, okay, every time I have to do the dishes, I have to do the laundry, kind of try to reframe that a bit.
And here's another one. If we would have a little electricity outage for a few hours, people are on Facebook saying, oh my gosh, mine's not on yet. When is yours coming on? And again, you don't know what you don't know. Because if I hadn't been there, I would probably be the same way. But my gosh, those people live without electricity. So for us to be without it for even 2 days doesn't bother me a bit. Not a bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good for people to go into places like that to realize how fortunate we are and quit complaining and help others more.
I like it. I like it. What are you
Yeah.
grateful for?
Oh my gosh, my health, number one. Because if I wasn't healthy, I would be no good to, well, I might be good to my family. They'd probably still like me, but I wouldn't be good to me because I like going out and spreading sunshine. And if I'm not able to do that, that would be really hard on me. So some days if I'm thinking, what should I do today? Then I go to the nursing home and visit some people that don't get visitors, or the all people with dementia. They're always happy to have visitors. I mean, they don't remember you were there, but it doesn't make any difference. It's like a baby. I always tell people that don't think their family members remember them, so they shouldn't go. I say, well, our babies didn't remember us either when they were a week old, 2 weeks old, but we sure wanted to make them happy. You know,
Mm,
it's just like that.
yeah, yeah, that's good. That's really good. I just see, and I know why my mom said, you need to talk to her, is I love what you just said, is like, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. And then you pray about it, or you're like, hey, how can I help someone else, instead of, well, yeah, I just need some time to myself. I guess I'll just watch another show, or, I feel like sometimes we get into this like self-care thing a little bit too much, and we don't go out and we love on others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think just even when you see people in the grocery store that are older, because older people are often feel like they're invisible. And recently I saw a man in Fairway and I said, hi, how are you doing today? He looked to be in his 80s, I would guess. And he said, good, do I know you? And just because I spoke to him, and I said, no, I don't know you, but I thought you looked like a really nice guy and I just wanted to say hi to you. So just simple things, even in the grocery store, it's just so easy to find fun people. And so I
Oh,
had a nice chat with him. We chatted for like 15 minutes. He told me about his life and where he lives. And yeah, you just run across really great interactions with people.
oh, I love that, because I feel again that we're kind of in this stage of America where it's just easy to say, "Ugh, everyone's so terrible," and just get down on the world and get down on everything. But you just lifted it up with just what you said. So what a good way to look at things.
You know, one of my favorite things have always been to find a grumpy person and make them smile or laugh. You cannot be grumpy forever. So I guess I like a challenge too. This guy did not look like a challenge, but I know people in my life that have. And yeah, that's
Oh.
always fun to do. I can get you. I'll win you over. I guess that's part of the outgoing part.
Right, yeah, I can see that. Well, what would you say to someone who's kind of inspired by what you're talking about, but not sure that they could go to Haiti, but what would you say to them? How would you encourage them to do something?
I would say in the United States alone, there are lots of opportunities. I took my girls to when Katrina hit, it was in 2005 down in New Orleans. It was the first huge hurricane, wiped out, I don't know if you remember, but a lot of New Orleans. So at that time, oh no, I just started with Red Cross then. I'd called Des Moines Red Cross when that hit and said, I don't know what I can do to help, but please let me know if there's anything I can. So I got deployed for 3 weeks to go down there just that fast, had to do a background check and went down there. And that was the start of my working with Red Cross. But so I was down there twice for 3 weeks helping them. And then the next summer, I took my girls and one of my best friends and her daughter went down for a week. And we went with a church group. And then the summer after that, we took them again and just went down on our own, found a place to stay and found people to help. So there's little things like that that just arise, that's how you can get started here in America doing simple things. I know church groups that go to Chicago and do mission work. There's all sorts of places around here that you could start. And then if you felt like spreading your wings, you could try out of the country. And the thing I like about Haiti too, I mean, it just fell in my lap. And but one of the things I really like about it is that it's so close. Haiti is just in our backyard. I mean, it's not that far from Miami.
Mhm.
So it's easy to get there and easy to get back quick, as opposed to some of the other countries that people go to. And needs are everywhere. So I'm not saying they shouldn't go there. But for me, I like the place I ended up going is nice and close.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I brought my children up going to the nursing home with me. You probably did too. Like, did you guys play bingo at the nursing home?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
church? Yeah, yeah. So we just started out doing all those volunteer things together. And then as the children got older, instead of gifts for Christmas or birthday, um, we haven't done gifts for so many years, but they would do a good deed for someone else, and that was my gift. And then at Christmas, they would all either have it written out or a video or something showing me what they had given me. And that was way better than opening any gift. And it
Oh,
had to be anonymous. That was one of the things. They couldn't, what I wanted them to learn the gift of not getting thanks, just helping someone because it feels good.
mm.
And so they still do that. And that's really fun.
Oh, that is so, what a great idea. That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Because what do we need for gifts as parents? Really, we go buy what we want.
Yeah.
We do. By Christmas time, you're just trying to figure out something you don't need so somebody can give you something. So yeah, it's probably been 20 years since we've done gifts.
Wow. Wow. And that kind of just takes the pressure off of the Christmas, doesn't it? And kind of
Yes.
brings it back to what it's supposed to be about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And finding out what they did for someone else is so much more exciting than opening a box with a sweater or a VCR or whatever is going on that day that you get the gift. So much more exciting for me.
Oh, that is so great.
And
Um,
that's what anybody could do here in America easily, just to start out with the charity and giving, you know.
yeah, yeah. No, thank you for that. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, and I've loved our conversation. Well, we already talked about what you're grateful for. What's your favorite Bible verse or story?
Well, what's there's first of all a couple songs, and you'll know these songs. Here I am, Lord,
Mhm.
really speaks to me. I love that when we play that in church, and I have it on my iPod. But Matthew 25:40, the King will reply, "Whatever you do to the least of my brothers and sisters, you do unto me." And
Mhm.
that really speaks to me that we just need to help each other, and that's what God put us all here for. And nobody's in it alone,
Right.
or shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. Right. Yeah. I was just trying to find the verse really quick. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Is a when when it's is it Samuel? I shouldn't even say it. But where God's speaking to him and he goes to the prophet and says, "You called me, you called me." He's like, "No, I didn't call you. Go back to bed. You called me, you called me." No. And then finally he says, "Oh, God's trying to speak to you. Go say, 'Here I am.'" So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought of that when you
Is it I, Lord? Yeah,
said
yeah. I've heard you calling in the night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another song that I love is "They Will Know We Are Christians Through Our Love, Through Our Love." You know that song, of course. Yeah. When I'm in Haiti, I really feel like that. I hope they know I'm Christian through my love, and they feel that.
I think that's a profound statement, especially I feel like what we are going through in America and just even getting a little angsty about like, oh, we're going to go through another presidential campaign and how can we hurt each other even more and and how can we show love, how can we show we're Christians, can we, and by your love, I love that point right there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if I need to ask this. What kindness have you shown, or what kindness have you seen in the last few weeks? Because this is what all this has been about. But is there anything specific?
Well, what's really making my heart happy this week is when I was in Haiti delivering food, you know, I said I'll come along someone needs. This family had a mud stick house that was total, and a lot of the houses there are, but even the mud was no longer in the sticks. So it was just open. When it rains, it got wet, the mud floor. And I was able to find an organization called Mercy Missions to build them a house. And it's so cheap compared to our houses in America. I mean, I could build 50 if I sold this house, and this is just a little ranch. But so that's being built this week, and I keep getting pictures from the people that are building it, and the guy sending me the pictures. That's my kindness. I'm just so happy that I get to be along for the ride and see the houses that goes up, and I think they should be ready to move in next week, maybe.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
that's
well. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your story, and I'm praying that this will just impact someone to show a little bit more love and kindness.
yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah. Well, you make it sound easy, but no. Thank you for sharing and being open to share that with us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.